की जय। श्री श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जू की जय। नित्यानंद प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशुतर शत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जय। नित्यानंद प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशुतर शत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्यानंद प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशुतर शत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्यानंद प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशुतर शत शिशुमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्यानंद प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशुतर शत शिशुमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट विष्णु नित्याल प्रविष्ट महाभागवत श्री गोक्षरस बाबूजी महाराज की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबूजी महाराज की जय। श्री रूपानुगौर्य गुरु वर्ग की जय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय। नाम श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौरमंडल ब्रजमंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट विराट गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी बिंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। जय श्री हरि जय श्री शिल भक्तिविनोद ठाकुर इस भजन रहस्य की जय। जय शिल जय श्री चैतन्य शिक्षाष्टक की जय। The commentaries on the Mahamantra by Śrīla Jīva Gosvāmī, Śrī Gopāla Guru Gosvāmī, and Śrīla Raghunath Das Goswami ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. We'll do the Mangalacharan and then I will see who has joined. ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। श्रीसिद्धान्तसरस्वतीति विदितो गौडीयगुर्वन्वये भातो भानुरिव प्रभात गगने योगोरसङ्कीर्तनाय मायावारतिमिङ्गिलोदरगतान् उद्धृत्य जीवनिमान् कृष्णप्रेमसुधाब्धिकाहनसुखं प्रदात् प्रभुं तं भजे। वन्दे भक्तिविनोदं श्रीगौरशक्तिस्वरूपकम् भक्तिशास्त्रज्ञसम्राजां राधारससुधानिधिं। नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगवरायते। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। वृषभानुसुतान्वितवामतनुं यमुनातटनागरनन्दसुतं मुरलीकलगीतविनोदपरं भज गोद्रुमकाननकुञ्जविदुं स्मर गौरगदाधरकेलिकलं भव गौरगदाधरपक्षचर शृणु गौरगदाधर चारुकतां भज गोद्रुमकाननकुञ्जविदुम् तवैवास्मि न जीवामि त्वया विना इति विज्ञाय देवी त्वां नायमां चरणान्तिकम् भक्त्या विहीना अपराधलक्षाय क्षिप्ताश्च कामादितराङ्गमध्ये कृपामयि त्वां शरणं प्रपन्ना वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम् भज श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरि गौर भक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्रीस्वरूपराय सङ्गहर्षशेषघोषणं शिक्षणाष्टकाख्य कृष्णकीर्तनैकपोषणं प्रेम नाममात्र विश्वजीवनैकसंवरं प्रेमधाम देवमेव नौमि गौरसुन्दरं प्रेमोर्भावितहर्षैर्योद्वेगदन्यार्तिमिश्रितम् लपिताङ्गुरचन्द्रस्य भाग्यवर्भिर्निषेव्यते प्रभुर्शिक्षाष्टक श्लोक जय पोरे शुने कृष्णे प्रेम भक्ति तार बारे dine dine. Whoever reads or hears the Lord Shikshashtak verses will find their prem bhakti to Krishna growing more and more each day. शिक्षाष्टक चिंत करो स्मरण कीर्तन क्रमे अष्टकाल सेवा हवे उद्दीपान. Contemplate the Shikshashtak and engage in smaran and kirtan. Gradually, service throughout the 8 divisions of the day, Ashtakala Seva, will be awakened. Shakala anartha jave pave prem dhan chaturvarga falgu pray have adarshan. So when you contemplate the Shikshashtak and you engage in Smaran and Kirtan, then all anarthas will disappear and you will attain the treasure of divine love. You'll attain Prem Dhan. The 4 aims of worldly life, Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha, will appear trivial and fade from view. Only the 5th goal of human life, Prem Purushartha, will remain. Everything else, Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha, will fade from view. Jai Śrī Śikṣāṣṭaka ki jai. Okay, so now let's recite the Shikshashtak. 1 second. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamahadavagni nirvapanam Shreya kairavachandrika vitaranam Vedyavadu jivanam Anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam Purnamrita swadanam Sarvatma snapanang parang vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrarpita Niyamita Smarane Nakala Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Medrishamiha Janina Nuraga Trinarapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Na dhanam na janam na sundarim kavitam va jagarisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishware bhavatar bhakti rahaitu ki tvai ainandatanu jakinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavam buddho kripaya tava para pankaja stita dhuli sadrisham vichintaya Nayanam galarashudharaya Vadanam gadgadaruddhaya gira Pulakarnichitang vapukada Tava nama grahane bhavishyati. Yugayitam nimeshena chakshusha pravrashayitam Shunyayitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me Ashleshava pararatang pinashtumam Adarshanan marmahatam kurotu va Yatha tatha va vidadhatulam pato Mat prananatastu sa eva na para. Jai Śrī Śikṣāṣṭaka ki jai. Let's see. Dandavat pranams, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Guru Nishta Prabhu, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, and oh, Shripad Bhaktivedanta Sajan Maharaj. Dandavat pranams Maharaj, and Rukmini Didi, and everybody else joining. If you write a comment, I'll see your name. Dandavat pranams. And also pranams to all devotees watching in the future, like Shachi Devi, Jayadev Prabhu, Revati Didi, Hariyo. So we are continuing with, we're going through the explanation of the Mahāmantra. Today, I think we'll quickly go through Śrīla Jīva Gosvāmī's commentary, and then I'd like to start going through Gopāla Guru Gosvāmī's commentary. But maybe is it good to see how we got to this point in Vajranahasya? I've gone through it a couple of times. Anyways, I'm just going to go through it again really quickly. I like to do this again and again just to make it really stick. But so we, at the end of the Pratam Yam Sadhan of Bhajan Rahasya, the first division of the day, Nishant Bhajan Shraddha, at the very end, close to the end of it, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives Gopal Guru Goswami's explanation of the words Hari, Para, Krishna, and Rama. The sweet explanation of those four names. Sometimes in the Mahāmantra, as we'll see from the commentaries of Jīva Gosvāmī, Gopal Guru Goswāmī, and Raghunath Das Goswami, sometimes Hare in the Mahāmantra, sometimes that refers to Srimati Radhika, it means Hara, but also sometimes it refers to Krishna, meaning Hari. And this is only in the Gaudiya, like in our Gaudiya line, that we accept that Hare means Hara, Srimati Radhika. Most people, like the general meaning is just Hari. It's three names of Krishna, Hari, Krishna, and Rama. But in our Gaudiya line, very specifically. But I saw Raghunath Das Goswami. Actually, we have to get there because I haven't read his commentary yet. But I heard that Raghunath Das Goswami, he explains that all the Haris as Hari, and he's chanting the Mahamantra, like he explains the Mahamantra in the mood of Srimati Radhika. But I haven't read it yet, so we'll get there, we'll see. Okay. But now let's just get the sequence, see how we got to where we are. So in Vajranahasya, the first two verses, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is offering pranams to Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu came with his associates. He's chanting the syllables Krishna Varnam, the two syllables Krishna. And yeah, he's with his Angas, Upangas, his Astra of Harinam, and his Parshads. And then in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it says, those who are intelligent, they worship Mahaprabhu by performing the yajna of Sankirtan. Yajna Sankirtana Prayar. Oh, and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also says the same thing. Yajna Sankirtana Prayar Bhajami Kali Bhavanam. Yeah, so he's worshipped by means of Sankirtan. And then this next verse from, I'm going to skip Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's beautiful Bengali explanation because we already went through it so many times. And then in the next pranam mantra to Mahaprabhu, he explains, he gives this verse from Raghunath Das Gosvāmī's Śrī Śikṣāṣṭaka, how Mahaprabhu explains to the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, he instructed them to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, counting a fixed number of rounds. And then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives a few verses explaining the glories of Shri Nam. Whatever fruit can be obtained in Satyuga by performing austerities and meditation can be obtained in the age of Kali simply by chanting the names of Govinda. And then this from Brihad Vishnu Purana, Shri Hari's name possesses such potency to destroy sins that it can counteract more sins than even the most sinful person is able to commit. And then sins are destroyed with great effort by remembering Shri Vishnu, but by chanting his name, they are very easily destroyed. Why? Because kirtan is performed simply by moving the lips, whereas smaran, it's very difficult to concentrate the mind. So yeah, the superiority of kirtan to smaran. And then, but then these Bengali verses here, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives like a segue to the next verse. It's because he explains that smaran and kirtan sarva siddhi sanghatan archan apeka namer smaran kirtan ati shreshta bodhi shastre korilo sthapan. So smaran and kirtan, they bestow all perfection. And so compared to archan, smaran and kirtan are much greater. It's so much greater. And then he explains how in Hari Bhakti Vilas, it explains that the holy name of Hari is eternally present on the lips of one who is perfectly engaged in archan for hundreds of births. So that's only then, after perfectly engaging in archan for hundreds of births, then he might be able to chant Harinam. That's how far superior Harinam is to archan. And then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains the Hare Krishna, the 16 names in the Mahāmantra, and how it relates to the stages of advancement, from Shraddha, Nishta, Asakti, Bhav, Prem, like that. Yeah, it gives a very deep explanation of the Mahāmantra there. And then he explains, Srila Rupa Gosvāmī explains that same sequence from Shraddha, Sadhusanga, Bhajana, Kriya, Anarthana Vritti, Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav, Prem, from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And then he explains that sequence now. He explains how it happens. Bhakti mul sukriti hoite shradha. Yeah. And he explains how your advancement through these different stages happens according to the amount of anarthas that are destroyed. Yeah, and I showed that chart in Madhurya Kadambini about the cessation of anarthas. But then you might get to the very top. At any stage, the most important thing to watch out for is staying far away from a satsanga in which pratishta, kutinati, all these things arise and will divert you from the path for a very long time. Therefore, atti savadhani bhaya asatsanga tyaja nirantar paranande harinama bhaja. Therefore, very carefully, oh brothers, stay far away, give up any asatsanga and chant the name of Hari continuously in supreme bliss. And so then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives 2 verses explaining how whether I'm burned by fire or remain encaged forever, I will never, ever desire the association of those who are averse to Krishna. It is better to live with or embrace a snake, a tiger, an alligator, than to associate with those whose hearts are filled with varieties of material desires and who worship various demigods. And so now he starts from the beginning. He explains the whole sequence all the way up to Prem and how we need to be careful of asatsanga, otherwise we'll fall down at any point. And now let's start from the beginning. Namabas. This is this is what we're chanting right now. And he gives this beautiful verse from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Yeah, we've gone through this verse. We memorized this verse together. Very important verse. So anyways, I need to go more quickly. And then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, after this verse, he explains the process of Śikṣāṣṭaka, the methodology of Śikṣāṣṭaka. It's a manual. It's not just, some nice prayers, but it's an actual, it's shiksha. The word shiksha means the instructions. So these are Mahaprabhu's instructions about how to make progress from Shraddha, the Sadhusanga, the Bhajana Kriya, like that, all the way up. And so this is the methodology, how we must, first we should worship according to the first verse of Shikṣāṣṭaka for some days. Then we'll become experts in the second shloka. And then gradually, this word gradually in this section comes 7 times in these 10 verses. So he's really emphasizing the point, how we must follow the process, not jump, but we must follow the process of Shikṣāṣṭaka from the beginning. And anyways, I'm going to just skip, because and then he gives the verse of Shikṣāṣṭaka. After he explains the methodology of Shikṣāṣṭaka, then he starts with the first verse. And then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives amazing verses. The way he did this is so beautiful, so powerful. He really made it possible that we can go very deeply into every word of Shikṣāṣṭaka. So he gives a bunch of verses explaining Cheto Darpana Marjanam, Bhava Mahadevagni Nirapanam, Shreya Kairava, all these 7 excellent results of Nam, but I'm not going to go through them now because we went through them already many times. Then he ends with how chanting the holy name completely cleanses the self. Sarvatma Snapanam. And here he brings it back full circle. First, we begin with Cheto Darpana Marjanam. You begin with cleaning the mirror of the heart, starting to clear off all that dust, and then you end with Sarvatma Snapanam. Finally, you've reached the end of cleaning the mirror, and now you're fully cleansed. You're bathed inside and out. And what I was understanding is that at that point, because that's prem, and so you completely cleanse even the physical and subtle body, and you attain vastu siddhi, right? That's prem. And so that's when the cleaning of the mirror is complete, when you're now finally serving in Krishna's pastimes. And so Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur here. And he starts this with Rupa Goswami's Krishna Namashtaka, and then he ends it also with Rupa Goswami, 2 verses from Rupa Goswami's Namashtaka, glorifying the name in a very beautiful way. And then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives evidence from the Vedas, from the most ancient scriptures. The Rig Veda explains Nam Tattva. He gives 3 verses from that. And then Mahaprabhu's instructions to go and chant Harinam, fixing your mind on the name, making your mind one-pointed, counting a fixed number of rounds every day. And by this, Mahaprabhu says that everybody here, all of you, will attain all perfection. So therefore, chant always. There are no rules for chanting. There's no time when you can't chant. You can even chant when you're using the toilet. So never stop chanting. Sarva Kanbodo. And then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives a verse from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which is similar to what Mahaprabhu said. It has a bunch of these key words in there. Sarvartha, Sarva Siddhi, Nirbandha, Mahaprabhu says Nirbandha here, and Rupa Goswami is also saying Nirbandha. So the holy name is a bestower of all perfection, and those who continuously chant Harinam with such firm faith and conviction quickly obtain the fruit of prem. And then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives some very practical instructions for what your mala should be like. It should be made either of tulsi or jewels, money, but we don't follow that. This is just from the scriptures, but yeah. And it should be like the tail of a cow. I guess that means like from big to small, or like a snake is also from big to small. That's most auspicious. Shouldn't never touch your mala with your left hand. You shouldn't shake your mala. You shouldn't drop your beads when you're chanting. If you chant with your middle finger, then you'll attain bhukti and mukti. All that. And then so that's just like the practical external rules for instructions for how to chant on a japa mala. But now I find this one so important. This next verse that he gives from Hari Bhakti Vilas is how internally that was like the external explanation, how to chant on a mala, but now internally we have to mana sangharanam. We have to withdraw our mind and fix it on what we're chanting. Shocham, our mind should be completely clear, clean, pure, internally. And Srila Gurudev explains that that we must subdue the 6 enemies of anger and lust and greed and all these things. Otherwise, and then monam, we shouldn't talk any mundane topics. When we're chanting, we should be silent. And silence means to only speak Krishna Katha and nothing else. And this one, I think, is the most important. Mantrartha Chintanam. We have to remember the meaning, the artha, Chintanam. We have to remember the meaning of the mantra. And avyagratvam, our mind shouldn't be restless. We have to be steady and never stop, right? What was the, anyways, sorry. And then anirvedo, we shouldn't have any despondency, no losing hope. We should be patient, knowing that even though I'm not, I don't see externally the results right now, but if I just keep at it, I'm going to, we have to be steady, patient. So these are the causes, the hetava of perfection, sampatti, in chanting japa. And then my Gurudev gives 5 other ones. And then we come to Gopal Guru Goswami's explanation of the meaning of Hari, Hara, Krishna, and Ram. And so we went through this here, and I wanted to go through it a bit more because Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining how we must remember the meaning, mantrartha chintanam. We must remember the meaning of the what we're chanting. And so our Acharyas, Jīva Gosvāmī, Gopal Guru Gosvāmī, Raghunath Das Goswami, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur have all given commentaries on each name of the Mahāmantra. And I'm not going to go through this again today, but there's the Madhuryamai explanation of those 3 or 4 names. Then there's the Aishwaryamai explanation of the 3 names, Hari, Krishna, and Ram. And then the Yugal Smaranmai, how to remember the divine couple within the name. And now Jīva Gosvāmī's commentary. So yesterday I went through this, and while we were reading, I was just trying to highlight what I thought was the most, like the words in the Sanskrit that really capture the essence. So Sarva Cheta Hara Krishnas Tasya Chitam. So the first Hare in the Mahamantra, Shri Krishna Chandra's, Krishna captivates the minds of all, but Srimati Radhika captivates the mind, Srimati Radhika captivates even the mind of Shri Krishna. Tasya Chittam Harati. Tasya means his, Krishna's, Chittam, his mind, Harati, steals. She steals Krishna's mind, even though Krishna steals the minds of all. How does she do that? By Dagdi Sarat Vistarar, by God, I couldn't think of a Vistar. Vistar means to expand or to spread out her. But anyways, here it says exercising her unrivaled cleverness by Dagdi. And then, so that's the first Hare. Hare refers to Srimati Radhika, who captivates Krishna's minds. Then the first Krishna is Krishna who he karshati, he attracts Shri Radha. How does he attract Shri Radha? Swiya Lavanya Murali Kala Niswanai. From the sound, the Niswanai, the reverberation of the sweet sound, Kala means sweet sound of the Murali, and his Lavanya, his beauty. Through that, he attracts Karshati Shri Radha. That Krishna who is he is the ornament. No, what is it? It says, who's adorned, alankrita. He's adorned with qualities that bewilder the 3 worlds. Mohanaguna. That Krishna. Okay, so Radha is tasya chittam harati. She steals Krishna's mind, and then Krishna, karshati, he attracts Shri Radha. Now, the next Hare refers to Srimati Radhika, who is, it says, Shri Krishna kidnapped the doe-eyed Srimati Radhika, taking her alone to a secluded forest bower. So, Harina Niyate. She is taken, Niyate means Srimati Radhika is taken, Harina, by Shri Hari. So, in this Hare, it's, instead of Srimati Radhika being the one who is stealing or taking away Harati, it's Krishna who is taking Srimati Radhika away, alone, to a secluded forest bower from the Rasmandal. Away from the Rasmandal, taking her alone. It says ekakini. Rahakunje, to a secluded bower. Yeah. Now, the second Krishna is Ramate Radhaya Sardam. So let's see. The magnificent effulgence emanating from his dark limbs. Okay, so Krishna's darkish complexion can turn Srimati Radhika's golden complexion into a dark complexion, Shamvarna. So Krishna's Shamvarna, usually we hear it the other way of Srimati Radhika's Gauravarna, making Krishna taking on a golden complexion, but here it's the other way around. Krishna can convert Srimati Radhika's golden complexion to a dark complexion, Shamvarna. That Radharaman Shamsundar is called Krishna. And then the second Krishna, no, this is the third Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, right? So this is the third Krishna. He attracts Akrishya, Sarva Tirthani. He attracts all the tirthas into Shamakund. He did this in accordance with the desire of his beloved Śrī Radhika, and Śrī Hari manifested Shamakund, the topmost of all beautiful lakes, in the forest of Rajanya Govardhan. He did this in accordance with the desire of his beloved Śrī Radhika, and he attracted all holy places to it. Therefore, learned people who understand this deep secret call him Krishna. Then the fourth Krishna. Krishyate Radhaya Premna. Śrī Hari is attracted by the transcendental prem of Srimati Radhika. So now this one, Krishna is usually it's Krishna is the one who's attracting, right? Usually we think of Krishna as the attractor, the all attractive one. But in this one, Krishna is the one being attracted. He's attracted by Radhaya Premna, by the Premna, Radhaya. This is also an instrumental case, right? Yeah. So anyways, Radha's Prem, Krishyate, he's attracted. So this second Hari, Srimati Radhika is the one who is being stolen away, who is being taken, Harati. And in this one, it's Krishna who is being Akrishya, who is being attracted. Sorry, Krishyate. Now what is this? The third Hare. So Krishna, Krishna now, Hare, Hare. So the first of those Hares is, whilst living in Vraj, Shri Krishna stole away the life force of the strong bull-like demon Arishtasura. At that very moment, Srimati Radhika, in great jubilation, loudly chanted, Hari, Hari. For this reason, Shri Radha is known as Hara. Interesting. So it says he stole away. So I guess this could refer to Krishna and Srimati Radhika, right? Because Krishna stole away the life force, so that's Harati, right? He stole away the life force of Arishtasura. But then at that time, Srimati Radhika, she chanted loudly, Uchay Rayati. She said, Hari, Hari. So therefore, Shri Radha is known as Hara. Both of these next two, Krishna, Krishna, Hare, Hare, both of these refer to Srimati Radhika chanting Hari, the name of Hari. So this one is that pastime when Krishna killed Arishtasura and Srimati Radhika chanted Hari, Hari. And now in this next one, Srimati Radhika sings the pastimes of Krishna in indistinct tones. So Hari Cheshtitam, that's the activities of Shri Hari. Asputam Rayati, an indistinct, very like, I guess, what is that? Indistinct is like quiet or something, like very soft. She chants the glories of Hari. Sometimes like that, Asputam, indistinct, and sometimes Gayati. She sings loudly. Yeah. Sometimes out of intense affection, she sings loudly. Therefore, learned scholars who are expert in discerning Ras Tattva refer to her as Hara. Okay, now that's the first half of the Mahamantra. Now we begin the second half. So in Vrindavan, Shri Radhika playfully stole away the flute as it fell from the hands of Shri Krishna. Oh, and Haribo, Ganga Mataji, and Vidyalala Sadidi. Okay, so yeah, she stole away, I guess that's Jahara, the Murali. She stole away the flute from Krishna's hands. We know that very sweet pastime. Yeah, we did that drama for Gurudev a couple times. Then Rama. Krishna is most clever in the art of embracing. He is thus known as Rama because he wandered with Sri Radhika, playing and enjoying with her in the cave-like arbors of Govardhan. So Ramaya, Masa. He plays with Srimati Radhika in Govardhan, in the Kunjas also. Okay. Now this one, the next Hare in the second half of the Mahamantra, Srimati Radhika is most merciful. She steals away all the miseries of the devotees. Actually, the word hanti doesn't mean steal, it means kills, right? Or she destroys. She destroys all the sufferings of the devotees. Hanti dukkani bhaktanam. And she bestows happiness upon them. Rati sukhyani chanvaham. Thus, she is known as Hara. And now the next Rama, this is the second Rama, right? Yeah. Yeah. First Rama was okay. Now the second Rama. The minds of the devotees who perform bhajan delight in the topmost ocean of bliss, Shri Krishna. For this reason, the dark complexioned Shri Krishna is known as Rama. So Ramate bhajate cheta. The minds of the devotees, when they performing bhajan, they perform bhajan with delight. So this is like and why bhajan of who? Of Ram, of Krishna, who's the source of delight. He's the ocean, topmost ocean of bliss. Paramananda Varidav. So therefore, the devotees are Ramate. They're delighting, I guess. Okay. So for this reason, the dark complexion Shri Krishna is known as Ram. Okay. Now the third Ram. In the arbors, Srimati Radhika gives joy to Shri Hari with her prem. Therefore, according to the etymological origin of Ramayati Anandayati, or she who gives bliss, happiness and bliss, she is called Rama. So Srimati Radhika is called Rama, and Shri Krishna is known as Rama because he unites with Shri Radha, or Rama. So here, Krishna's name is based on Srimati Radhika's name is Rama. Because he unites with Rama, he is called Rama. Okay, so then is this the fourth Rama in the second half of the Mahamantra? When Shri Krishna saw all the Vrajvasis weeping in Vraj, Rodanai Gokule, when at the time when they became surrounded by the forest fire, then Davanalam Ashayati Yaso. So then he swallowed the forest fire, the Davanala. And thus he gave them great pleasure. I don't know this word, I didn't look it up, but I'm guessing this word Vishoshayati means pleasure. But yeah, that Krishna who gives pleasure to the Vrajvasis when he swallows the forest fire, they're saved, and so now they're so happy. And he is Bhakta Sukhava. He gives happiness. He is the happiness, right? Or he gives happiness, I don't know, to his devotees. That is Rama. So these two explanations of Rama was about Krishna giving happiness. Sometimes it's referring to his Rama, his reveling and playing and enjoying like that. And sometimes it's him giving that to Srimati Radhika, sometimes giving that to the devotees. Okay. Now, this is the last Rama, the fourth Rama. No, we already went to the fourth Rama. Okay, now the last two Hares in the Mahamantra. Shri Krishna went to Mathurapuri to kill Kamsa and other demons. Afterwards, he returned to Vraj with the desire to meet with Srimati Radhika in a solitary place. She attracts Krishna from dhams like Mathura and brings him to Vraj. For this reason, she is called Hara, one who steals. So she steals Krishna from Mathura, brings him to Vraj. So like Rath Yatra, you know, right? That's the secret meaning behind Rath Yatra, bringing Krishna back to Vraj. So that is Hara. Srimati Radhika steals Krishna from Mathura, brings him to Vraj. And then the last Hare refers to Nandanandan, Krishna. It's Hari in this one. It's not Hara in the last Mahāmantra, according to Jīva Gosvāmī. It says, Shri Nandanandan came from Mathura and Dwarka to steal away all the miseries of the Vrajavasis. That Nandanandan, who is endowed with pastimes that captivate the mind of Shri Radhika, is called Hari. Okay, and now what time is it? Okay, we have 15 minutes, not so much time. Do you want to go? I want to, because here it gives two commentaries by Jīva Gosvāmī. One commentary, not explaining, just explaining the four names, Hari, Hara, Krishna, and Rama. And I haven't actually looked at this. And then after that, there is a brief explanation of each word of the Mahāmantra. And so I think I want to just go through this one for now. We'll go through the meaning of each word so that we can compare it to Jīva Gosvāmī's. Yeah. So I'm just going to read through this and then we'll go through it again more thoroughly. But I'll just read the Sanskrit and then the translation. So first Hare. Krishnasya mano haratiti hara radha tasya sambodhane he Hare. So Srimati Radhika, who steals the mind of Sri Krishna, is called Hara. She is addressed as He Hare. Interesting. So I think this first one is the same as Jīva Gosvāmī's, if I remember correctly. We'll compare it later. So then, now the first Krishna. Radhaya mana karshatiti Krishna tasya sambodhane he Krishna. At the end of each one of these, it says, so tasya, tasya with a long A means her, and tasya with a short A at the end means his. Sambodhane, sambodhanane, or sambodhane, that means the vocative. So the vocative of Hara is He Hare, O Hari. Oh, sorry, O Hara, He Hare. He'll end each one of these like that. Tasya sambodhane he Krishna. Right? Tasya sambodhane he Hare. Right? So yeah, okay. So Krishna means he who attracts the mind of Sri Radha. He is addressed Hare, He Krishna. So I think that was also the same as the Goswami, right? It began with Srimati Radhika stealing Krishna's mind, and then Krishna attracting Srimati Radhika's mind. Now, the second Hare. Krishnasya loka laja dharyadi sarvam haratiti hara radha tasya sambodhane he Hare. So Sri Radhika causes Sri Krishna to lose all his shyness, sobriety, patience, modesty, etc. That is why she is known as Hara. She is addressed, He Hare. Whoa, this is the reverse. We read above in Jīva Gosvāmī's commentary how Krishna steals away those four things. Was it four things? Where was it? Sorry, I'm sorry, we're supposed to not compare them now, but I can't help myself. No, I lost it. But yeah, it was I think it was almost the same four things. It was the patient, it was shoot, I lost my spot. What was the key word? Patience. Okay, there. But yeah, I think it referred to all these things. Loka laja, dharya, adi. And I think it was Jīva Gosvāmī's explanation. He referred to, what was it? One is the dharma, the religious duty of the ladies. One was the manam, their pride, or their honor. And anyways, all those things, Krishna steals away with his flute when he calls them for Rasa Lila. I think something like that. Anyways, Shri Radhika causes, but now Shri Radhika is causing Krishna to lose Hara, all his shyness, sobriety. So that is the second Hare. Then Krishna, Radhaya Loka Lajja Dharyadi Sarvam Karshiti Krishna Tasya Sambodhane Hey Krishna. Oops, I skipped this part. So she is addressed as Hey Hare. Now Krishna is addressed as Hey Krishna, which Krishna, that Krishna who attracts Radhika in such a way that she loses all her shyness, reserve, patience, etc. So they do it to each other. Krishnasya Lokalaja Dharyadi and now Radhaya Lokalaja Dharyadi, the same exact thing. Sarvam Karshati. How does he do that? By attracting Sri Radhika. So Srimati Radhika causes Krishna to lose Hara, all these things, and Krishna attracts Srimati Radhika, and by that she loses all those things. Now what is it? The third Krishna. Yatra yatra radha tishtati gacchati vatatra tatra sa pashyati Krishno mam sprishati balat kanchukadikam sarvam haratiti Krishna tasya sambodhane Hey Krishna. Wherever Sri Radhika stands or goes, she sees Sri Krishna touching her and forcibly pulling her veil. For this reason, he is called Krishna, all attractive, and is addressed, Hey Krishna, O Krishna, O you, who forcibly pull the veil of Srimati Radhika. Okay, then the fourth Krishna, the last Krishna in the Mahāmantra. Punar harshatam gamayati vanam karshatiti Krishna. Krishna. Tasya sambodhane Hey Krishna. He gives pleasure to Sri Radha, who again ventures to the forest of Vrindavan, being irresistibly attracted by the sound of his flute. For this reason, he is called Krishna and addressed, Hey Krishna, O Krishna. Okay, so Srimati Radhika is attracted by the flute. So she ventures into the forest. Okay, now the last two hares in the first half of the Mahamantra. Yatra Krishno gacchati tishtati va tatra pashyati radha mamagre parshve sarvatra tishtati viharati iti hara radha tasya sambodhane Hey Hare. Shri Krishna steals Shri Radhika next to him wherever he stands or moves. She sees Shri Radha next to him wherever he stands or moves, in every direction, and hence his consciousness becomes captivated by her. Therefore, she is called Hara. She is addressed, Hey Hare, O Hara. So Krishna, she captivates Krishna, his consciousness, making him see her in all directions, wherever he stands or moves. Therefore, she is Hara. Now, the last Hare in the first half of the Mahamantra. Punastam Krishnam Harati Swasthanam Sarayatiti Hara Radha Tasya Sambodhane Hey Hare. She again steals Shri Krishna away to a secret rendezvous hinted at by her. We know, like Sanket, right? They give these signals and they give these hints and where they're going to meet. So she hinted at that, and she steals away Krishna's mind by that indication. Now Krishna can't think of anything other than that rendezvous. Therefore, the address to Sri Radha is Hara. Hara changes to Hare in the vocative case. Hey Hare. Now, the last Hare in the first half of the Mahamantra. Krishna Vanam Harati Vanam Agamayatiti Hara Radha Tasya Sambodhane Hey Hare. Shri Radha steals Krishna away to the forest. In other words, her attraction takes Krishna to the forest groves of Vrindavan. Thus, Shri Radha is called Hara. She is addressed, Hey Hare. Now, oh wait, sorry. I meant this was the first Hare in the second half of the Mahamantra. Yeah, sorry about that. Now, Rama. Ramayati tam narma nirikshana dineti Rama tasya sambodhane Hey Rama. So Shri Krishna's playful smile, laughter, darshan, etc. involves Shri Radhika in amorous pastimes and thus gives pleasure to her. For this reason, his name is Rama. He's addressed, Hey Rama. Then Hare, the second Hare in the second half of the Mahamantra. Tat kalikam dharyavalambanadikam krishnasya haratiti hara radha tasya sambodhane He Hare. Shri Radha causes Krishna to instantly lose his patience and composure. Therefore, she is Hara and addressed, Hey Hare. Again, it's like the same, almost the same thing, right? Here it says dharyavalambanadikam. She instantly, tatkalitam, at that very instant, she causes Krishna to lose his dharya, his patience, his composure, his control over himself. Therefore, she is Hara and addressed, Hey Hare. Now, the second Ram in the second half of the Mahamantra. Chumbana stanakarshana lingana divi ramate iti Rama tasya sambodhane He Rama. By means of intimate kisses and stana akarshan. They didn't want to put the meaning of that because, anyways, yeah. And embraces and so forth. Shri Krishna performs intimate pastimes with Radhika. He is addressed as He Rama. Should I not explain the meaning of this because it's not explaining the meaning here for a reason, I guess? It's the first verse of Shitta Kamala Kuchamandala. Or no. What is it? Pino Payodara Parisara Mardana in Gita Govinda. Anyways, I'll skip that then. Rama. Punastang Purushochitam Kritva Ramayatiti Rama. Tasya Sambodhane He Rama. So Shri Krishna is he who enjoys amorous pastimes with his consort, Shri Radhika, by making her play the dominant role in love. He is thus called Rama, the enjoyer, and is addressed, Hey Rama. Punastam Purushochitam Kritva Ramayati. Huh. I don't know Sanskrit, so I need to. Is it saying that he's making her the Purush? I don't know. I could be totally wrong. Rukmini probably understands that. Anyways, I'm gonna look into this and then I'll be able to explain it better tomorrow. This is our first time going through it. We're gonna go through it again more nicely, more thoroughly tomorrow. So then the last Rama, the fourth Rama in the Mahamantra, Punas Tatra Ramate Iti Ramaha Tasya Sambodhane He Rama. Because he repeatedly enjoys pleasure in that place, he is called Rama and is addressed, Hey Rama. Because he repeatedly enjoys pleasure in that place. Which place? Doesn't say. In that place, Vrindavan, I'm guessing. Okay, now the last two Hares. Puna rasante krishnasya manohritva gachatiti hara radha tasya sambodhane He Hare. As Ras Leela comes to a conclusion, she walks away and yet again steals Shri Krishna's mind. Again, she steals Krishna's mind when she leaves the Ras Leela. That's the Vasanti Ras, right? That's the one when Krishna goes searching for Srimati Radhika instead of the other way around. So Radha is therefore called Hara. She is addressed, Hey Hare. And now the last Hare in the Mahamantra. Radhaya manohritva gachatiti Hari Krishna tasya sambodhane Hare. Hey Hare. Tasya sambodhane He Hare. Similarly, Shri Krishna, at the conclusion of the Ras Leela, also walks away, capturing Radhika's mind. Thus, he is called Hari. Here, Krishna is addressed, Hey Hare. So, in the Mahamantra, both Jīva Gosvāmī and Gopal Guru Goswami explain the last Hare in the Mahamantra to refer to Hari, not to Srimati Radhika. It's Hari. Interesting. So tomorrow we will read the commentary on the Mahamantra by Srila Raghunath Das. Well, I'm not sure actually. We'll see how long it takes us to go thoroughly through Gopal Guru Goswami's explanation. But I just want to sneak preview. Oh, I don't have the translation here. That's weird. Anyways, I will look at the PDF. Maybe I just didn't copy over. Interesting. And then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has a commentary, and this one, it's all a prayer, right? His commentary of these names are all prayers. Oh Ram, oh Radhika Raman, please reveal to me a vision of your, please, like that. Please engage me. Please make me qualified, like that. So that's Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's explanation from the Chaitanya Shikshamrita. Cool. Oh, and I did something because yesterday I mentioned our time's up now. I know. I'm just going to quickly say something. Yesterday I was mentioning the idea of getting all the putting this into a chart so that we could compare them, compare the main point of Jīva Gosvāmī's explanation to the main point of Gopal Guru Goswami's. And I didn't get time to do that. I haven't even looked at this yet, actually. What I did is I'm just explaining in case any of you find this interesting and you might want to do something like this. Some of you might be against this, I don't know. But I uploaded this document that we're reading from right now. I uploaded it to Google Drive. And then I went into Gemini, and there's the 2.5 Pro model. I selected that model in Gemini, and then I just said, give me a chart comparing Jīva Gosvāmī's explanation to Gopal Guru's explanation. And this part's a little bit cheesy, but I said, give me an emoji just to represent the main point in it. I just find images really stick in my mind, but it kind of makes it look a bit like cheap. So maybe it's not a good idea to do that. I don't know. I just for fun, whatever. This isn't a serious thing. I was just doing this for fun and as an experiment to see what it did. And this is the chart it gave to me, and I haven't actually looked at it yet. I just did it right before the program, and then I didn't get a chance to look at it before we started. But let's see what it did. So for the first, and this could also just be like a good base, and then you can go through it and make it better. Like you can make it, but this is like a good starting point instead of having to do. Yeah. So the first Hare, Jīva Gosvāmī, his main point is that the first Hare, Radha steals Krishna's mind with her cleverness. And Gopal Guru Goswami says the same thing. Radha steals Krishna's mind with the power of her love, with prem. So the difference between them, they're both as Srimati Radhika stealing Krishna's mind, but Jīva Gosvāmī explains how she does that with her cleverness by Dagdi Sara, what is it? Sara Vistaranam or something like that, right? And Gopal Guru Goswami explains how she does that with her premna, right? With her love, by her love. And then the first Krishna attracts Radha with his beauty and flute. Yeah, what were the words? It said his lavanya and his murali kala nisvanai, right? Nisvana. That was, and then Gopal Guru Goswami explains how he is the beloved son of the king of Raj. No, I don't think that was right. So I think it made a mistake. Because I remember, what is it? Let's just look very quickly. Sorry, I'm going to go very quickly here. Oh, I lost it. Gopal Guru Goswami. What was the first? Gopal Guru Goswami says, oops, that was Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Wait. Gopal Guru Goswami says, Radhaya, no. What were we looking at? Sorry, my brain's, okay. The first Krishna, Gopal Guru Goswami says, Radhaya mana karshati. Yeah, so Krishna means he who attracts the mind of Sri Radha. He is addressed as He. And so it's the same thing. Jīva Gosvāmī says attracts Radha with his beauty and flute. And Gopal Guru Goswami says that he attracts the mind of Sri Radha. It just says he attracts the mind of Sri Radha. Doesn't explain how. So that's the thing. Whenever you use these language, if you ever use these language models, you always have to check everything. It's a starting point, but you should never have faith in whatever it says, because it will just make stuff up. It just made up that. So anyways, but this is a good starting point. Like now with this chart, I can just go through and fix it up to make it more closer. I'm not starting from with nothing. I have something to work with. So anyways, I'm not going to continue on anymore, but we can, yeah, this I think this would be a helpful chart. And then I could add in Jīva Gosvāmī's explanation, and then we can compare the three of them together. And then hopefully it will start to stick, and then we have a meditating on who am I calling out to when I'm chanting Mahamantra, which Hare, which Krishna. That's why they gave us these explanations, so that we can go very deep into our chanting. And the mantrartha chantam, remembering the meaning of each name in the mantra. So, all right, that's our program for today. Just do short Mahamantra and Jaidwani, and then we'll end. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju Ki Jai, Jai Srila Gurudev Ki Jai, Jai Srila Param Gurudev Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai, Swapashad Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopikan Ki Jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Jai Shri Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai, his Bhajan Rahasya Ki Jai, Jai Shri Jīva Gosvāmī Pād Ki Jai, Jai Shri Gopal Guru Gosvāmī Pād Ki Jai, Jai Shri Hare Krishna Mahamantra Ki Jai, Shri Chaitanya Śikṣāṣṭaka Ki Jai, Jai Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Vrindai Tulsi Devai, Priyai Keshavashacha, Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi, Sattvatai Namo Namaha, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat Pranams, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Guru Nishta Prabhu, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Ghanasham Prabhu, whoever that is watching on their iPhone, and also on YouTube and Facebook. I see there are 8 devotees. I only see the names of those who write comments, though. So I see Shripad Bhaktivedanta Sajan Maharaj, Dandavat Pranams Maharaj, and Rukmini Didi, Ganga Mataji, Vidya Lalasa Didi, Vrinda Didi, Rohini Nandan Prabhu, all the other devotees watching. I'm guessing Indira Mataji, Raseshwari Mataji, I don't know who else. And then devotees watching in the future like Shachi Devi, Jayadev Prabhu, Revati Didi, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you so much for joining. And see you all tomorrow to go through Gopal Guru Goswami's explanation more thoroughly. Yeah, I think that will be the main focus tomorrow. And maybe let's see if I get time to fix up that chart a bit more nicely, and then we can get the essence of each name and be able to compare them to each other. And I don't know, that will help with at least keeping it in the mind. So, all right. Is there anything anybody wants to mention before we end our program for today? All right. Jai Shri Radhe. See you all tomorrow. Hari Bol.